Welcome to One Little Spice, the Disney food podcast that isn't afraid to send you into the taste lab. Welcome to episode 63. Ohana, make way, make way. I'm Julie.
And I'm Amy.
And on this episode, we are going to be talking about Ohana because it is coming back very, very soon. How soon? July 9th. But first, it's time for Amy's Daily Dish. Amy, what's your dish? Icky.
Let's dish. Item 1. Have you seen Loki? Because if you have Disney Plus, you should really watch Loki. Without giving anything away, Loki is awesome. And if you are a fan of classic sci-fi, the first episode has super strong Douglas Adams vibes, and the second is a very strong Doctor Who feel. Again, this is in no way a spoiler. Yes. And I will also specify that it is not like WandaVision in that the episodes are made in the style of classic sitcoms. It's not like that at all. When I've made that statement to people who haven't seen it yet, they are like, wait, is it like WandaVision? And I was like, no, not at all. Very different, but like very awesome. It is just like the score and the general feel of the episodes have been evoking these classic pieces of sci-fi, and I am really excited for the third episode to come out because I don't know what the next one's going to be. Like, I don't know if this was done on purpose, but there, as an example of a musical, the musical score, in the second one, there was just a moment that they definitely did the first two notes very specifically of the Doctor Who, woo, like that part. They did the woo, and then went off into something, and there was like no reason why they would have chose that particular note interval, and also had the show have a very Doctor Who feel, like if it was not on purpose. So, highly recommended. If you have Disney Plus, you should watch Loki. If you don't have Disney Plus and you're like, I really like the idea of these Marvel shows and what they're doing, I recommend getting Disney Plus for them. It is totally worth it. But mainly just, it's a great show, and I can't wait for more.
I was very skeptical about Owen Wilson. Not because I don't think Owen Wilson is a great actor, but in most of the roles that he does, he's very over-the-top comical.
Yes.
And so I was very concerned about how he would play that role. And I do have to say that I am very, very surprisingly impressed, and it just gives me so much more respect for Owen Wilson. I already knew he was a great actor, but he just plays this role so incredibly well and plays off Loki. Their dynamic is incredible.
Yes.
I love it so much.
So I've actually said this to people about Owen Wilson. He dialed the Owen Wilson-ness, if anybody who's seen an Owen Wilson movie knows exactly what I'm talking about. He dialed the Owen Wilson down and dialed the, oh, by the way, I'm actually a really good actor, up. The amount of Owen Wilson-ness in his performance is just absolutely perfect and appropriate for the character. This also, talking about that, made me think about the fact that with the exception of Robert Downey Jr., and that in itself is not an exception because Robert Downey Jr. is absolutely the perfect person to play Iron Man, none of the Marvel actors and actresses were really hired just because they were a big name. It's all like, no, yeah, you're a big name and that's great, but we want you because your acting style is perfect for this role. It's not like, hey, we need another big name actress or actor. And I'm really happy that that's how they're doing it, because a lot of times just bringing in a big name on a show just kind of, or a TV or a movie or a series or whatnot, just kind of like ruins it because it becomes super obvious. It's like, oh yeah, this person is a good actor, but they probably weren't really great for this role, but they wanted to be in it, so they gave it to them because they're a big name.
Yeah, I think casting Robert Downey Jr. for the role of Iron Man was also kind of a shot in the dark because of his past and because of what he had gone through with the addiction and recovery and things like that. So it could have gone a very different
Yeah.
way, but this was definitely the redeeming role for him, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh yeah, I would agree. And I actually had heard, which kind of relates to what you were saying, that originally they were planning on going the like alcoholic route as part of Iron Man's story, because that's actually like one of the big story arcs in like Iron Man. And obviously they changed directions and went with like the PTSD, which I think worked a lot better for where they went. But so perhaps hiring an actor with a history of substance abuse that had gotten through it, or at least at that point had gotten through it, was done on purpose in order to have that performance work out or whatnot. But they obviously went in a different direction. But yeah, I agree. It was a bit of a shot and like a fingers crossed this all works out.
Well, I think the thing is, too, where he did have the substance abuse, I feel like he could channel the PTSD really well.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
I know, speaking from experience of dating a drug addict, I definitely have some PTSD from that, so I can only imagine that
Yeah.
someone who actually experienced it themselves would definitely have that to pull from for their acting.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Loki is amazing. Go watch it. I was a little on the fence about Falcon and the Winter Soldier until like the last episode, or the last couple episodes. It was good, but it wasn't like pulling me in. Whereas with WandaVision and Loki, from the start, obsessed.
Oh yeah, me too. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, from what I have read, originally had a global pandemic related storyline that they obviously had to completely remove. As such, and having this discussion with someone else previously, basically said is it feels like they did the best that they could do given that they had to rip out a huge part of the storyline. Assuming that's the fact. Also, and this is actually, I just read this, saw this today, so it didn't get an item because I hadn't gone back to rewrite my items, but Black Widow will be on Disney Plus as the premiere access, so pay $30 and you get to see it, I believe, early next month, either the 9th or the 19th. And that is an example of something that I'm willing to pay an extra $30 to see, because I have been so excited about Black Widow since they first announced it, and I want to see, Hopper.
The 9th.
The 9th? Okay. I want to see what's-his-face who plays Hopper in Strange Things essentially be the Russian Captain America, so the Captain Russia. That's just what the visual of his costume reminds me of, and it makes me giggle.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that, and where it is Marvel, we would have normally be going to see it in the movie theaters anyway. So
yes,
I'm
exactly.
totally okay with spending a little bit more to see it.
Yes, definitely. Item 2. Welcome to the happiest food on Earth. Disneyland has been slowly reopening. Let's talk about what food locations are open, aren't open, and when they are opening, and where mobile ordering is still the jam. So the latest Disneyland park resorts that will be reopening will be the Tiki Juice Bar, which will be opening June 17th with mobile order available. The Ranchero del Zocalo Restaurante, opening June 17th. Alien Pizza Planet, also opening June 17th, mobile order available. And I love that the Alien Pizza Planet has remained since they changed it for the little Toy Story layout, and it's just still there because everyone wants a Pizza Planet. Olga's Cantina also will be opening June 14th, and the bookings are now available. Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, again opening June 17th, and will have mobile order available. Maurice's Treats, that always just feels like I'm saying it wrong, Maurice's. But anyways, Maurice's Treats will be opening June 24th, and Edelweiss Snacks will be opening June 24th, and will have mobile order available. In Disney California Adventure Park, the Wine Country Trattoria, opening June 17th, and you can book now. Mendocino Terrace will be opening June 17th. Bayside Brews also opening June 17th. Mobile order available. The Lamplight Lounge Brunch, which is only open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, will be opening July 9th, with bookings now available. The Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining will be opening June 24th. Jack Cookie Num Nums, I love the name of that, opening June 24th. And the Cozy Cone Motel Pop Cone will be opening June 24th with mobile order available. So the restaurants that are already open in Disneyland Park are the Blue Bayou Restaurant and the Cafe Orleans. In Disneyland Park, these restaurants are open now with mobile order available. Bengal Barbecue, French Market Restaurant, Galactic Grill, Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, Jolly Holly Bakery Cafe, Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe, the Little Red Wagon, Milk Stand, Mint Julep Bar, Plaza Inn, the Red Rose Tavern, Ronto Roasters, Stage Door Cafe, and various vending carts, but they don't have mobile order available, just like the following restaurants are open but don't have mobile order. Because it is a sit-down is Blue Bayou Restaurant, Cafe Orleans, Market House, the River Bell Terrace, Ship to Shore Marketplace, and the Tropical Hideaway. In Disney California Adventure Park, the restaurants currently open with mobile order available. So the Adorable Snowman Frosted Treats, Award Wieners, the Cappuccino Cart for gourmet coffee, Cochina Cucamonga Mexican Grill, the Cozy Cone Motel, not the Pop Cone, Flo's V8 Cafe, Hollywood Lounge, Pacific Wharf Distribution Company, Paradise Garden Grill, Pim's Tasting Lab, Pim's Test Kitchen, Rita's Baja Blenders, Smoke Jumpers Grill, Sonoma Terrace, Studio Catering Company, and various vending carts serving ice cream, popcorn, churros, beverages, snacks, and hot foods not available with mobile ordering like the other following restaurants. Angry Dogs, Carthay Circle Lounge, Al Fresco Dining, Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical.
Also, the Al Fresco Tasting Terrace for the Legacy Pass holders and their guests.
Yes. The Poultry Palace, the Shawarma Palace, the Shawarma Palace 2. That's TOO.
So that's actually interesting because there is the Shawarma Palace and then there is a second one that is open by the the theater that I cannot think of the name of to save my life. But there's a theater where they used to have Frozen, and right in front of there is the Shawarma Place 2, so that they would have an additional
shawarma location.
Cart.
Because shawarma, it's tasty. Terrine Treats. And yeah, those are what are open in the parks. Now, at the Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, and I will never get over how weird it is to say Californian, but, that's what it's called. The GCH Craftsman Bar is open. The GCH Craftsman Grill is open with mobile order. The Hearthstone Lounge open with mobile order. Napa Rose is open for dinner, no mobile order because it is a sit-down. And Storyteller's Cafe is open for breakfast and dinner, but no characters and no mobile orders. So, if you're going to Disneyland, use this information for planning your dining.
A lot of them are already filled up,
Unfortunately. But depends on how far out you are scheduling.
60 days out.
Yep.
Solid.
Item 3. Could the reservation system be here to stay? Well, it looks like it is here to stay. For quite a while anyway, Disney and Josh D'Amaro had this to say on the matter. The reservation system has performed exceptionally well, not only for us as a business as it relates to the situation we found ourselves in from a capacity-restrained perspective, but from a guest experience point of view as well, says D'Amaro. we've been able to throttle guest demand and ensure that guests in the park are having a great experience and that the booking process is simple, clear, and as friction-free as possible. We had started with a lot of this work at Walt Disney World with dynamic pricing and ticketing strategies, which got closer to a reservation system. As we entered into this situation, we put a full-on reservation system into place, something we've contemplated for a long time, and here it is. To be honest, with what I know we have been discussing about how the limited capacity is essentially completely booked, more or less, every single day, and that the limited capacity is more or less the same or slightly higher than, say, an average day at Disney, like pre-pandemic. Obviously, you know, holidays and heavier days and heavy season, it was going to be higher, but it kind of makes sense that they're either way, they're not just going to be, all right, open for everything, because everybody who hasn't been able to go to Disney in the last year and a half is that really wants to go to Disney will just flood there, and a lot of people won't be, you know, planning to stay on property and make that reservation. They're just going to find a nearby hotel, or if they're in Florida as a local, they're just going to drive there. So this just gives them a better level of control. I think it's a good idea, at least for this foreseeable future. It is definitely a pain in the tuchus in some respects.
Says the girl without the annual pass.
Yep. Exactly. It's a pain in the tuchus for someone with an annual pass, because how many days of reservations are you able to make with an annual pass but without a reservation?
I get to make 3, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to go tomorrow, there would not be any pass holder reservations available. There would be perhaps hotel reservations, and there would be perhaps ticket reservations available. And while Josh tomorrow is the Disney executive love of my life, I do not like that they are going to keep it with this system. And understandably, because Bob Paycheck, haha, there you go. Bob Chapek.
That wasn't a Freudian slip at all.
But Bob Chapek is all about the dollar and cents and not about the guests, which the pass holders, while we pay thousands of dollars a year to go to the park, we do not spend nearly as much as the folks, apparently, who do not have any sort of annual passes, which makes sense because there are some days that I go into the parks and I just, you know, ride some rides, say hi to my husband, and take off. But overall, I feel like with my 20% discount, I spend more than I would normally spend without a 20% discount on merchandise. I just think that this benefits everybody else in the world other than pass holders.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. I feel like if they're going to keep the reservation system in place, they need to adjust the pass holder situation, or they're going to find themselves with a lot fewer pass holders. Like, maybe that's what they want, but as you said, with the 20% merchandise discount, when I was a pass holder, I definitely spent a lot more on merchandise, on just like things and souvenirs that I would normally probably not have spent on, just because it's like, well, at least I saved 20%, so it's, you know, type of a thing. I definitely, like, when I go, because I come from Massachusetts, I'm always eating in the park, obviously, and I'm not saying that locals are gonna, you know, sit down to a restaurant, you know, a full sit-down restaurant every time they go, but I feel like a majority of the pass holders aren't just, you know, like Julie said, popping in, ride a couple of rides, and say hi to their husband. I feel like most pass holders are gonna stay for a little while. Maybe they'll grab, you know, something, at very least something to drink or something to eat from a cart. So I feel like they are definitely giving pass holders a raw end of the deal, when in reality, pass holders are giving them a lot of money. I if they don't adjust the pass holder situation for reservations, I would expect that we are going to see a lot of pass holders just completely dropping off and, dropping their passes because, well, it's, you're not getting the same value out of it that you normally could because you, in theory, would have been able to show up, as a local person. You could technically, if you wanted to, show up any day of the week you wanted and pop in, whether it was busy, whether it was quiet, that's, beside the point. But you could just go once a week if you wanted. But with the reservation system, you can't do that because you only get to pick 3. So hopefully they fix that situation. Conceptually, I like the reservation system, and I feel like you understand that, Julie, what I mean by that. But I agree that from a pass holder standpoint, it's not great.
No, I definitely understand what you mean, and it does make sense because, and so I feel like the reservation system would make sense if it was for the times of the year when the park actually does get to capacity.
Like, I can totally understand why currently they're like, hey, it's going to be in place for a while because they definitely do their market research at Disney. Whether or not they listen to it all the time is, a different story, but they definitely know how to do their market research, and they know that if they just opened it up, no reservation, there would basically be like a cattle drive into every single park starting the day they just drop the reservation system. So I
don't know about that because there are still some days where reservations are not full. So it's hard to tell. But yes,
what a good thing to do, like if they're not going to change the pass holder thing, what they could possibly do is within the last 7 days leading up to, 7 days ahead, just sort of be like, all right, take a certain percentage of leftover unsold regular tickets and whatnot, open slots as it were, and set those so pass holders could select them. You know what I mean? Having living in Massachusetts, I haven't done any of the pass holder reservation systems, so I don't know how it works entirely. But in theory, they could open those passes up, or a selection of unbooked passes to pass holders, a few days in advance. Because at the very least, that's going to help local Floridian pass holders to be able to come in and enjoy the parks, and even, it was going to say international, but non-Floridian pass holders.
So they definitely do that.
Okay, they do.
But it's just more difficult when you already have the reservations booked out for 3 days, because you cancel one of those reservations and risk not getting that back to go that day, or,
I can understand that. If there's specific days that you just really want to go, which I know you've had specific days, and especially with the anniversary coming up, obviously I'm sure a lot of pass holders have the same situation where they have 1 or 2 days definitely 100% booked up, and that third day, you do it and then you book another one, and you do it and you book another one, type of a thing. But yeah, no, I imagine that really only works for people who are just like, I want to go to Disney, I don't care when, as long as it's now, as soon as possible.
If they have a hotel reservation trumps annual pass.
Yeah.
So if I had a hotel reservation, I'd be able to make more reservations.
Yes. So the reservation system seems to be staying for a while. Hopefully they adjust it to make it more friendly to pass holders and Disney fans in general.
I'm just not sure how they would do that. I've been rattling my brain ever since you said that, and I'm just not sure how they would make that work.
Basically, they need to open more than 3 days. Is what would be my first go-to. The simplest thing is allow more than 3 days booked.
That makes sense, yeah. Maybe bump it up to 5.
Yeah. Item 4. Explosives return to Walt Disney World. Starting July 1st, fireworks shows are returning to the Walt Disney World. Magic Kingdom fireworks have been sorely missed, and a night at Epcot without fireworks seems a little bit unfinished. So it's a good thing they both will be returning next month. Julie, how do you feel about this?
I have reservations booked on the 1st.
So that's how Julie feels about it. I'm assuming Magic Kingdom?
So I have Epcot because Magic Kingdom was booked solid, but I'm going to pop into Epcot and then run over to Magic.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Jason should be working at Magic, and he doesn't want to have to wait to watch Happily Ever After with me because he said he would wait to watch it for the first time with me. Mm-hmm. So the sooner I get there, the sooner we can
watch it.
Enjoy that together.
Indeed.
I'm very excited.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Item 5. Julie went to Walt Disney World. On the first day, the masking and social distancing guidelines had been relaxed. Well, Julie, what are your thoughts on that?
So, if you remember, the guidelines were relaxed for the vaccinated individuals.
Yes, I do remember that.
Upon our ferry ride to the park, I noticed that there was a family next to us of many children under the age of 12. And we all know under the age of 12 are not eligible at all to get vaccinated. We're not wearing masks.
Oh, big shocker, surprise.
I heard one woman in a bathroom say to her daughter who said, "Mom, I don't want to put my mask back on." Well, honey, you don't have to. Because let's teach them young not to follow rules. It felt... It was like this weird euphoria because it felt like things were getting back to normal. However...
Then you'd hear things like that.
No, it was also a little scary because I think I saw maybe 4 people wearing masks. And I know, especially living in Florida, that the percentage of people who are fully vaccinated is way more... Sorry, that are not fully vaccinated. Did I say that are not fully vaccinated?
You said that are fully vaccinated.
That are fully vaccinated is way less of a percentage than all of the people in the park. And we discussed this, that a lot of people would not be following the rules, and there's no way to prove it.
Nope.
So why not, right? I would just, please, if you are not vaccinated, wear a mask.
For the safety of children under the age of 12, as well as
the people
autoimmune
that cannot
compromised.
actually get vaccinated.
Exactly. At my store, I am actually, in the state of Massachusetts, still wearing a mask at work because some of my customers are wearing a mask. All of my customers that bring in their children, some of them have masks on, some of them do not. Their children are not vaccinated. I don't have it, but it's like, I'm trying to like be supportive and make everyone feel comfortable. But it's like I had a customer be like, "Oh, when are you going to take off your mask so we can see a smile again?" And I'm just like, soon, sure, whatever.
Was that a guy that said that? Because
Yeah.
punch him in the face.
I wanted to a little bit.
But, so it was weird because, outdoors, they don't require masks, period. And it was very weird because walking outside in Disney without a mask on felt super illegal. Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong, even though I wasn't. It's definitely going to take some getting used to.
I'm not even at the point where in Massachusetts where I'm going indoors without a mask on. Like, I go to the supermarket, I wear a mask. I
wear a mask to the supermarket. I wear a mask to the post office. I wear a mask when I go in places.
And it's just, like, part of it, like, up in Massachusetts, it's a little bit different than in Florida. But, it's just sort of like, I'm not ready yet, so I'm gonna keep wearing it and, and slowly ease out of it because, I'm feeling safer and safer up here, but I know down in Florida that level of safe feeling is not going to be quite the same as it is up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a very strange world down here.
Florida is very strange.
But yes, if you didn't hear our last episode, if you are fully vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask except for on transportation, which does not include the ferry because the ferry is outdoors.
Well, shall we get into the grits?
Well, no, because there's no grits. But,
I know, but I didn't want to say the meat and potatoes, but I wanted to say a food pun, so I came up with that. I tried. I thought it was clever.
the dumplings and noodles.
Yeah.
All right, so Amy's news is apparently done, so we will start talking about Ohana. And if you caught the name of the episode, we are throwing in a little Moana vibe. The background of my Zoom is actually also Moana.
I have no idea where Julie's actually recording from because I can't see it. It's just Moana.
I am on the beaches of Matanu.
Under the sea.
Wrong.
Under
wrong
the
musical.
sea. Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Take it from me. I know, I just wanted to sing it.
Amy didn't get the memo.
I got the memo, but you're like, the ocean is behind you and it's just the music that came to me. It's the music that came to me.
So the Polynesian is getting a Moana makeover, if you will. So I decided that that would be a great title for this episode.
Indeed.
And Ohana is reopening. It's very exciting.
I'm excited. I can't even go, and I'm excited.
They are reopening July 9th for breakfast and dinner. No characters. So we are going to go to what Disney says about Ohana.
It means family, and it means nobody gets left behind.
So it says, start your day with a bountiful breakfast or sit down to a Polynesian-themed dinner. Both served family style. Note, characters and games are currently unavailable.
I was just about to say, wait, there are games, and then I remembered, yes, there used to be games.
All right, so the theming of this restaurant is obviously Polynesian. There are several totems, which are the tiki idols that are strewn around the entrance and dining room. It's basically, so it's wide open in a sense. There's a bar when you first walk in, and there are the tiki idols and planters that kind of hide the restaurant from the rest of the resort. But the fact that it's open kind of gives it more of an island feel, because when you dine down in the Hawaiian Islands and things like that, everything is a lot more wide open because the weather is way more beautiful and things like that all year round. So they generally enjoy that kind of like outdoor experience. So it's basically like outdoor dining inside. And then there are giant windows that open up to the rest of the resort. And then if you are seated in the correct spot, which Jason and I were, you can see the castle.
As a fun historical side note, tiki is obviously used usually to refer to like tiki bars and the generally carved idols. But tiki is actually a specific idol from the Maori mythology, or should I say the Maori culture, the mythology of the Maori culture, and it is actually the first man created. So just fun historical side note.
Very cool. Thank you for that, Amy.
Yeah. And
when you walk in, if you look to your right after you've come around the corner, there is a giant fire pit-esque cooking area where I'm not sure if that will be open or not, but that is where they generally serve the food from. And
that is a good
chicken
point.
And the meat, and I mean, I'm sure it will be open in the sense that
they
will still be able to cook there, but I don't think that's where the food will come from.
Yes.
Because they used to be on skewers of meat.
Yes, it used to be essentially a Polynesian inspired version of a Brazilian steakhouse. So they'd come around with the giant, like, skewers, swords.
Of chicken, steak, and shell-on shrimp.
Also sausages. I believe they came around with sausages, too.
Not the last time we went.
Okay. I could be wrong. I thought I remembered sausages.
Maybe at one point. But not the last time Jason and I went, which was 2019. Oh no, actually, Jason and I went right before the pandemic.
Yes. They do adjust their menu occasionally, like most
Like when they took
do.
off the beautiful honey lime vinaigrette.
I'm very
And
sad
then
about
added
that.
it back on.
Yay! And then took it back off.
Well, I don't know, because they're calling it a citrus vinaigrette right now on the menu, so it might still be the same.
We will soon find out.
Well, not soon, because I'm going to breakfast, but I could ask them anyway.
You could ask.
But yes, so the things Amy and I got when we went the time that we were there were the skewers that were aforementioned. And then we also got noodles, dumplings, the salad, which we also just talked about, and a sautéed vegetable assortment. Also, sticky wings. And then the amazing coconut pineapple bread.
Yes. People will tell you not to fill up on the coconut pineapple bread, and that is not an incorrect fact, but do in fact try and enjoy the coconut pineapple bread.
Yes.
The noodles are another thing to not fill up on, but do enjoy them because they are very delicious.
Agreed. They're phenomenal. The wings are amazing, and the dumplings are the best.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I just want to eat the wings and the dumplings.
Yep. When Amy and I went, we asked for extra dumplings, and they brought us out an entire tray of dumplings, which was very unexpected, but it was like 30 dumplings.
Yes. The actual skewered meats and seafood are very good. As Julie mentioned, the shrimp is shell on. Some people don't like to eat shell on shrimp because they have to peel them. I'm sorry to tell you, you should definitely try shell on shrimp.
The flavor is so much better.
It really is. It is just so delicious. It is worth the little bit of extra effort to peel your shrimp.
I'm very upset. I made shrimp and grits the other day, and it said to boil the shells of the shrimp in with the chicken stock before you make the grits. However, for some strange reason, my frozen raw shrimp came peeled. That never happens. It's very disappointing.
I usually just make sure I get the ones with the shell on. I never know what I'm going to do with shrimp, so unless I'm like actually making just like straight up shrimp cocktail for a party, I always make sure I get the shell on ones. And a lot of times even for a party, I'll get the shell on ones and just like peel like a mad woman. But
yes, I didn't know they came shelled.
Oh, okay.
But also this was Walmart, and it was the only option that they had. So I didn't even read the package. I just saw the word raw and grabbed them.
Yep. I got you. I understand now.
I just assumed all the raw ones came with the shell on, because why not? Wouldn't they be more expensive shelled?
Yes, they are.
But yes.
Mm-hmm. Our dessert, of course, was the Ohana bread pudding.
And I had heard a lot about the bread pudding and about how amazing it was. And literally everyone who has ever had it raves about it.
This is a fact.
And I was like, it can't, like the Yachtsman. I was like, it can't be that good. It just can't. I don't believe it. It is that good. And you know what? I have a recipe. I made it at home. It's just as good at home.
Excellent. I will say the Ohana bread pudding is amazing. I'm not denying that fact. I'm just talking about it in more detail. It is a very excellent bread pudding. Every element of it is delicious. It is fairly simple. Like it is not particularly complicated. But it's just,
I don't really know that any bread pudding is really complicated, though.
I guess I don't know. It's not a particularly complicated desserts. We get really excited, you and I, over complicated desserts is basically what I'm getting at.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant that this specific bread pudding was basic.
Oh no, I'm just saying is like
sense,
this one is like
no?
Yeah. Bread pudding in a general sense is tends to be fairly simple. You do occasionally get people who do very unusual but amazing things with it and make it a little more complicated. But, this is one of the very simple desserts that Julie and I are also agreeing is amazing. Although we generally tend to be more excited about the complicated ones. So if you like a simple dessert, this gets the one little spice stamp of approval.
And it passes the Helen test.
It does pass the Helen test because I definitely got some for her to try one time. And it was delicious.
So yes, okay. So let's talk about this. It is simple in application, but flavor-wise, it's definitely not a simple palette of flavor because they use the coconut pineapple bread as the base. It has the lovely creme anglaise, in a sense, custard that makes it, and then it has an amazing Bananas Foster caramel syrup drizzled over magical vanilla ice cream. So you do get a lot of layers of flavor in it. It's not like just a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, no, the ice cream is there, but it is certainly not the star. I would say the actual bread pudding itself is the star. Others might say...
I don't know. I'd say it's the caramel banana drizzle.
If I am remembering it correctly, I guess what I'm trying to say is it was a very well-made bread pudding. So obviously the caramel banana drizzle is so amazing, like so tasty. A lot of times when you get a bread pudding, it's like, oh yeah, it's good, and then they drizzle it with sauce. This bread pudding itself was delicious and moist. It wasn't like dry patches inside. That, I guess, is what I guess star is the wrong terminology to use.
No, you're allowed to think it was the star, and I can think that the other part is the star, just like you were just going to say. It's okay. We can disagree.
Exactly. But I'm just saying it is a very well-constructed bread pudding, even before the toppings. And obviously a bread pudding without toppings is like a little lackluster. So I'm exactly like, so the caramel is very important.
Honestly, I'd be happy with this bread pudding if it was served by itself, though.
I would too. It's just amazing.
When we made it at home, the bottom layer of it turned into like a creme brulee custard, which was insane. It was so delicious. And one thing that Amy and I got to enjoy with our dinner was the Lapu Lapu drink, which is an amazing beverage served inside a full pineapple. Now, this is something that we had questioned. If we go for breakfast, will this drink be available? It's never been on the menu before for breakfast. Well, don't you worry, folks. It is on the breakfast menu. You can get it at breakfast.
Shall we dive into the current as of July 9th menu?
Share our anecdote about the glow cubes in our Lapu Lapu?
Oh, yes, we should do that. I'm sorry. So continue.
When Amy and I went, we wanted glow cubes in our Lapu Lapu. Some of the other beverages came with glow cubes, and we were like, can we please have a glow cube in our Lapu Lapu? Because, why not, right? Who doesn't want a glowing pineapple? And we were seated next to this family, and there were these two little kids, and we got through the entire dinner, and they just behaved so well, and were so adorable, and so cute, and conversed with us, and were telling us about all their favorite parts of the dinner, and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, they were so cute.
And at the end of the night, we were like, here, would you like our glow cubes? And they were just so excited about it, so it was really sweet that we were able to do that for them.
It was really cute. The parents were like, are you sure? And we're like, they're glow cubes, it's fine.
We have more.
Yes.
I think on that trip, that was like our 8th of the trip or something ridiculous like that.
It will never surpass the time we went to the Animal Kingdom, the show. What was it? And anyways, we got the special dessert party, and there were just floating lotus glow cubes everywhere, and we just grabbed all of them that everyone left behind after everyone left.
Yep. And then I had paid for several the year before.
Yes, and now we just have so many.
I paid for 5 because that was all that they had left. And I got 3 and Amy got 2.
Exactly.
And now we have a gajillion.
Yep.
I can still only find 3 of them, though. No, I have a box of all of them somewhere. These are just the extras.
Yes.
But yes, if you get a chance to, and they have them, the glowing lotus light cubes in Animal Kingdom are amazing because they float, and then you could put them in your bathtub, and it's just so serene. But back to Ohana.
It means family.
So like I said, they do have breakfast and dinner available. So I'm just going to quickly skirt through the breakfast options, and then we will talk in more detail about the dinner.
So that we're going chronologically through your potential Ohana day.
You wake up, you get breakfast, and then dinner. No, so they have seasonal fruit. They have the fresh-made pineapple coconut breakfast bread.
I do love that under seasonal fruit it says plant-based, and I know it's because it's meaning like, hey, we don't have anything else on here that's, not fruit, but it's just fruit's plant-based.
Yes. And then huapaka, which is scrambled eggs. Pua's pork, which is pork breakfast sausage links and Hawaiian-style ham, a.k.a. Spam, topped with pineapple compote. Uala kaliki. Nope, there's no L in that. Uala kahiki. Fried potatoes are island-style potatoes. They have Mickey-shaped waffles, and I have read Stitch-shaped waffles, and biscuits. And then the non-alcoholic specialty drinks, I am talking about these because they are very important to bring up. They do still have the Kona-sourced coffee. It is still done in a French press pot, and it does serve too.
It's
amazing.
tasty.
Even Jason and I got it on our honeymoon, and he was obsessed.
Michael and I will definitely get it if we eat either at Ohana or Kona when we go to Disney someday.
Yes. And they have a Lilo smoothie, which is decadent blend. Which is a decadent blend of a vanilla smoothie, fresh strawberries, and chocolate syrup served with whipped cream and an edible orchid. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberries. Wow, that sounds delicious. Next, they have the Stitch smoothie, which is sweet flavors of coconut and pineapple combined in a vanilla smoothie topped with whipped cream and Stitch ears. I want this just because I wanted to know what the Stitch ears are. And then, they have added the Moana smoothie, which is a vanilla smoothie with flavors of watermelon, mango, guava, and ginger, topped with whipped cream, edible flowers, and a Moana chocolate disc. Now, I'm very excited about this because mango, yum. Watermelon, yum. Guava, yum. Ginger, yum.
Edible flowers, yum.
Yes.
So I definitely want to drink everything you just spoke about, except for the specialty character drink because it's Minute Maid lemonade.
Yes, I didn't talk about that, but yes.
Oh.
Also, 0 sugar Minute Maid lemonade, which is way worse for your kids than just giving them regular sugar lemonade. But
yeah,
hey.
Didn't it used to be like light, as in it was like lightly sweetened?
Well, light is still artificially sweetened.
You're right.
And then they have some other interesting specialty beverages, and I don't know if they have these for dinner, so I'm going to go over them now. They have the Mimosa Your Way, which is a Domaine Saint Michel Brut sparkling wine with choice of juice. And the choices of juice, I believe, are, oh gosh, there were a ton of them, right? There was grapefruit. You could get it.
Definitely grapefruit.
You could get it with the pog juice, which they called something different here. Because it was like Loki, Lakawi, or something like that.
Yes.
But it's basically just the pog juice. And then you can get it with orange juice and pineapple juice and all the rest. So, Mimosa Your Way. Get it all the ways.
I think when we got it over at Kona, we got a pog juice.
Trio.
Yeah. The pog juice, a trio of pog juice, the
pineapple and the grapefruit.
Yeah, pineapple and the grapefruit, exactly.
Yes. And then they have the Polynesian Red Eye, which is parrot coconut rum, passion orange guava, not sure why I read that opposite, juices, and grenadine. I'm very interested as to why they are no longer calling it the whatever the heck they called it before. But it's pog juice, grenadine, and rum. Next is the Wasabi Bloody Mary, which is absolute pepper vodka with house-made wasabi Bloody Mary mix. Sounds delicious. Mm-hmm. A warped hula hoop, which is Sailor Jerry's spiced rum, pineapple, and pog juices topped with melon liqueur.
I would love if this drink came garnished with a little tiny hula hoop, but I know it's not.
A warped hula hoop?
Yes. Someday when I have my home tiki bar, we'll have to have a hula hoop drink, and it comes with a tiny hula hoop that I handcraft.
I love it.
Because, that's who I am.
Yeah, a resin hula hoop would probably work out very nicely. And then the infamous Lapu Lapu. Now, don't be scared away by this price, because it literally comes in a giant pineapple. But it is plantation original dark rum, tropical fruit juices, served in a pineapple and topped with Gosling's 151 rum. And a glow cube if you'd like.
Yes. If you get it in the pineapple, I know previously you could also order it out of the pineapple just in the glass. I'm not sure. And it was cheaper. I'm not sure exactly what the price was, but the Lapu Lapu in the pineapple, you get a lot of beverage.
Yep. And then you can pick at the pineapple that has been soaked in the beverage and enjoy that after as well.
It is delicious.
And then the plant-based breakfast skillet has, in quotes, eggs, sausages. They have the island potatoes, cinnamon sugar donuts, and allergy-friendly Mickey-shaped waffles. So gluten-free, I assume. So that's the breakfast menu. I'm excited for it. Jason and I have reservations for that coming up in August because that's the soonest we could get those reservations. But I am very excited to do breakfast.
Yeah.
And now, on to dinner. For appetizers, I'm very sad about this, but they have Ohana coconut papaya scones and cheddar bacon biscuits with honey butter. Sounds delicious. Sounds amazing. They do have the pineapple coconut bread with breakfast, so I assume you could probably ask for some, and they might have some for dinner. I am excited about scones.
I have the strange feeling that after the first few weeks of it being open, the pineapple coconut bread will be available again. I can't say that for sure, but I have a sinking feeling about that.
So here's my thought. Why not have the coconut papaya scones at breakfast and the pineapple coconut bread at dinner?
Maybe someone messed up. Maybe someone messed up hard.
Yeah.
Meaning the person making the menu.
I don't think that happens. For the appetizers, they have the mixed green salad that does come with a citrus vinaigrette.
Assuming it is the delicious citrus vinaigrette that
the honey
it
lime
used to be. Yes, the honey lime. You should just eat as much salad as you want. It's healthy for you, and it's not very filling.
It's all water weight,
and it's delicious.
So maybe don't fill up on the salad.
Well, not fill up, but you know what I mean.
Then they have honey coriander chicken wings, which are to die for, and
very much
pork
so.
dumplings tossed in garlic ginger sauce. Now, I know you're confused because the noodles are not listed on the appetizer, but have no fear. The noodles come with the entrees. And now this is interesting because it says entrees, wood-fired grilled teriyaki beef, island shrimp casserole with herb breadcrumbs, roasted 8-way chicken with Polynesian-inspired chimichurri sauce, kabasi sausage, ohana noodles, and roasted broccolini. So now I'm wondering, is this coming out in a platter like the breakfast one does? Or do you pick one of these as your entrees?
I would hope they all come out because they don't have them individually priced. I would imagine it's going to be like a family platter.
Well, they don't have them individually priced at the Crystal Palace either because it's the meal price and then you get breakfast, lunch, you get appetizer, meal, and dessert, and you pick one. Well, appetizer comes up for the table, and then the entree you pick one of them, and then dessert was a dessert platter. So I am curious as to how that will come out. Because for the breakfast, it says a breakfast skillet, but for dinner, it just has entrees. The mixed salad green also comes with almond sesame brittle.
That sounds really tasty.
And the roasted 8-way chicken comes with a Polynesian-inspired chimichurri sauce. Yum! I am very excited about the island shrimp casserole, though.
Mm-hmm. We know how I feel about warm shrimp. Generally.
Yes.
It does sound tasty. I did actually really enjoy the shell-on, just like roasted shrimp that they had, or grilled shrimp, I should say. But I can't wait to hear what this island shrimp casserole is.
It sounds amazing.
It does.
And then for dessert, they have the classic Ohana bread pudding. And it says with homemade caramel sauce. Does that mean there are no more bananas? Or are bananas supposedly encompassed in the caramel sauce? I hope they still have the bananas. And then the kids' dessert is a Rice Krispie treat topped with sprinkles and chocolate drizzle. Now for Jason and I guess we were celebrating. I guess Ohana was Valentine's Day / technically the initial honeymoon that we had. It was like literally one day that we got away to the tropical island. But we got a Rice Krispie treat with sprinkles. It did not have chocolate drizzle on it though. But it was in addition to our bread pudding, obviously, because nothing is better than the bread pudding.
As we've mentioned before.
It looks like for dinner, their non-alcoholic specialty drinks are exactly the same as breakfast, so you can get Kona coffee, as well as the smoothies and the zero sugar Minute Maid lemonade. Mm-hmm.
They do have a delightful list of signature cocktails.
They also have some delicious sounding mocktails.
Yes, they do.
Like the grapefruit spritzer, which is ruby red grapefruit juice and lime juices topped with soda water. The sparkling nojito, which I feel like we talked about last week.
We did.
Lime, pure sugar cane, and mint topped with soda water. But they have the cakey lemonade. Cakey lemonade, which is Minute Maid premium lemonade, pineapple, passion fruit, and citrus. Yum. And I also want this watermelon lemonade. Premium lemonade and watermelon. Mm-hmm. And then there's pomegranate lemonade with premium lemonade, pomegranate, and lime juices. So, most of the signature cocktails are the same as every single other restaurant,
yes,
except for the first few.
Correct. The Back Scratcher, which is the Bacardi Superior Rum Plantation Original Dark Rum and Guava Passion Fruit Juice topped with Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and a Bamboo Back Scratcher. I want to know if that actually comes with a Bamboo Back Scratcher.
It says it does.
Whether you order it or not. I know, but like a full, like what length it is. If it's a little tiny one or if it's like a big long one. The Polynesian Mai Tai is Plantation Original Dark Rum, Bacardi Superior Rum, Bull's Orange Curacao, and lime juice, Origat, which is an almond syrup, and pure cane sugar. The other two, I believe, that are more specific.
I was like, why is there only alcohol in that? Because it's a Mai Tai.
Yep. The Ultimate Long Island Iced Tea is Bacardi Superior Rum, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Hendrick's Gin, Corazon Blanco Tequila, Contro, and Sweet and Sour with a splash of Coca-Cola. The Puka Punch is the Real McCoy 5-Year Rum, Bacardi Superior Rum, John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum, I can never pronounce that right, Tropical Juices, Passion Fruit, and Angostura Bitters. And then, of course, the Angostura. See, I pronounce anything.
You added an
the
N in
Lapu
there.
Lapt. Yeah. And, of course, the Lapu Lapu.
Which we discussed.
You know, as we mentioned, we discussed. The last one that I believe is the only
I think the
signature
dragon one might be also.
Okay, I'll add that as well. But the Hawaiian Mule, which is Pau Maui, handmade vodka, lychee citrus reduction, and Fever Tree ginger beer.
I want 26,000 of those.
And the Dragon Iced Tea is Hendrick's Gin, lemon and ginger herbal tea, tropical juices, and blood orange.
That sounds delightful.
And then the rest are the vaguely tropical items that you find on the
every single Disney menu right now.
Spiral-bound drink menu.
The watermelon margarita, have we talked about that one?
I think we've done that one, yeah.
There is a spicy version also available with Ancho Reyes Verde liqueur, which I haven't seen before because I don't remember talking about that. But so you can get your watermelon margarita spicy or sour. I'm just kidding. I mean, obviously sour because lime juice, but all delicious options.
Indeed.
I am really excited about this dinner, mainly because of that island shrimp casserole. And I know Amy does not feel the same way about that, but
I'm curious.
It seems interesting.
I did actually like the grilled shrimp, so it's they're taking away a warm shrimp and replacing it that I liked, replacing it with something else, so I have questions.
Also, the roasted 8-way chicken that comes with the chimichurri sauce, I am intrigued by that because it was the one thing that, while delicious, was always a little overdone for me, like a little dry. So I'm excited that it comes with the chimichurri sauce because that should be delicious.
I would take the honey coriander chicken wings over the roasted chicken they used to have any day of the week.
Yes.
So, hope this one has perhaps improved a bit.
It comes with chimichurri sauce. It can't
Chimichurri sauce is good.
And I'm wondering if it's roasted 8 ways or it's 8-way chicken that has been roasted, because if it's roasted 8 ways, it's probably very dry.
I was going to say maybe it was drawn and quartered twice, but that's probably not where the 8 ways came from.
Well,
it's a chicken, so it was drawn.
So, yes. So 8 ways. So let's talk about this. No, because that's not 8 ways. Because there's wing, thigh, and then when we were at Cape May, they had the chicken breast sliced in half. So I'm wondering if they're calling that the 8 ways, because that would be 8 pieces of chicken that come out of each chicken if they slice the chicken breast in half and then have the 2 thighs and the 2 wings.
So bear with me. If they did, so they take the wings off and then they have each breast.
Yeah, but it's the full wing. So
oh yeah, but I'm saying
completely connected.
The full. Yeah, all I'm just saying is the full, like, so both parts of the wing, each breast, and then you do a drumstick and then upper port, like drumstick as one, thigh as the other, rather than like a hind quarter. If that makes any sense, that would be 8 pieces. That would be 8 pieces. It's just a thought. We'll find out.
I can't remember. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I totally forgot about the leg. Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely a possibility.
Or they are using all of those wings for the honey coriander chicken wings, and then the 4 pieces are the breast cut in half, because that's an easier serving than a whole breast, and then the leg and the thigh, which would be 8 pieces of the chicken outside from the wings, which clearly they're using for the chicken wings.
Either way, now we must know. And will by August.
Yep. So I've come to the conclusion that has not been roasted 8 ways, which makes me feel a little bit better about that.
It would explain why they were seemingly always overcooked before.
But yeah, so that's Ohana. It opens on the 9th. Reservations have already opened. They are basically completely full, unfortunately. I have a breakfast reservation for the 15th of August, which was the earliest date that I could get a reservation, period. That was a weekend day, because obviously I can't do a breakfast during the week because I work. But if a dinner opens up any of the other days, like tomorrow I could book for the 16th. So if we do breakfast on the 15th and then dinner on the 16th, we will let all of you know how it was.
I'm excited either way.
I'm very sad that Stitch won't be there for pictures for breakfast.
It is sad.
Because he used to be in Magic Kingdom, and then they moved him to Ohana for the character breakfast. But I do have his autograph, at least once.
Yay.
So that is okay.
The time I met Lilo and Stitch with my mother, Lilo is very hard-headed. and accidentally jammed her ear into my ear. And I had to have a cartilage piercing, and it was like sore for the rest of the day.
That did not pass the Helen test.
No, it was fine though. She didn't mean to.
I know.
She's a rambunctious child.
She is.
With a very large, solid head.
Don't they all? Don't they all?
Don't they all?
But yeah, so that is everything about Ohana. We are very excited for it to open. While the menu may be a little different than it was in the past, it's one of the menus that has opened back up that has not changed significantly. So that is very exciting. But I am very intrigued by the changes that have come.
Yes, me as well.
Also, I don't know if I shared any of these pictures, but over the summer when the parks were still closed, I recreated the Ohana dinner for me and Jason and took some lovely pictures, even made a lapu lapu. And it was delightful. And the bread pudding that I made was almost just as good as the bread pudding at Ohana. But let me tell you, that made amazing French toast the next day.
Oh, I bet.
To the point where we didn't even have to coat it in the eggs. It was just kind of fried in a pan and served with eggs and deliciousness. Yes. Ugh.
Delicious.
So scrumptious. And I think we made Jason made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of it at one point.
Oh, I'm all for odd uses of delicious, slightly sweet bread.
Oh, so incredibly amazing. But yeah, so that is what we have to say about Ohana. Like we have done, tune into our Extra Spice episodes for all of the updates that you have not received on our main episodes, and we may have a special guest upcoming on one of our Extra Spice episodes, so stay tuned for that. But, as always, thank you so much to our little arugulas for being there for us while we were going through our lull and slump, and it feels so good to be back and recording again on a regular basis, and
It does.
we are just so grateful to all of you. And just remember, every recipe starts with one little spice.